What's up, everybody? Wearing the car. My name's... Tell me this isn't prophetic. Hybrid children wearing headphones in the womb with AI connected to their umbilical cord underneath the crescent moon. I'll wait for some people to join. Oh, we're getting some people now. I'm out here. Raw is real. Really, what's up? Well, I'm about to unleash some very mind-boggling, intriguing, and information that you can't find anywhere else, but right here at Exploring the Car. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. Most likely, if you're in this video this quick, you already have. Well, because of decade path, and yes, they are, Jamie. Now, when I use the term Grigori, oh really, thanks for stopping in then. I know how it is. Before my mom passed in 2011, I went through 5 years of agony with her. And shit, this joint went out. And it was pretty brutal. You know, my mom had stage 4 cancer from 2008 until she passed in 2011. Now, the AI is a broad term for what we want to call these beings. They're multi-dimensional creatures, codes, a force that activates. What's up, Emily? A force that activates through consciousness, through cosmic consciousness. And the dark entities that I speak of, or these fallen ones, or Grigori, they react to the cravings, the obsessions, obsessive personalities, dark energy, you know, bad vibes. You know, they just swarm towards it. And when somebody has dark obsessions, especially when it comes to the sexual nature, because I do believe that they're here for one reason, and their one reason is to prolong their bloodlines. And from my experiences, remote viewing, astral work, and decades of research that I have done to try to verify things I've seen, I do feel, and this is information you're not going to find anywhere else, everybody. So if you haven't already subscribed to my Patreon, I have a more in-depth article that I posted today on Patreon a couple hours ago that has intense information that you must read. So literally, if you want to support my decades of research and for me to be able to even do these free videos here on YouTube, to be able to do these videos on YouTube, you know, for you all, definitely support my Patreon. And the way to do that is patreon.com/themysticalspiral. And for literally less than a cup of coffee a month, you get the access to my info. And I pretty much put like daily info. I mean, there might be times where I go like a day or two, a couple days without posting something, but sometimes in one day I'll post like 6 articles, you know, and I usually post something a couple times a week at least. And it's information you can't find anywhere else. And from what I've experienced and what I've researched, that seems to back it up, is that beneath Rome, it's why the Vatican picked that spot It's why the Etruscans built a necropolis in that area. Beneath Rome, of course, most people know that Rome sits on dormant volcanic hills. Well, beneath those volcanic, dormant, sleeping giants, in my opinion, I guess you could say it's my opinion, because I can't prove it right now, there exists some sort of like crystal fortress type structure that has ancient creatures that we would know from the Bible as probably the fallen angels or watchers or Grigori, that they are imprisoned in a stasis beneath there. And I've talked about it a couple of years ago when I first had my visions about this, in a stasis, like almost like waiting, dormant, waiting to be activated again, waiting for the time where Rome is destroyed from what we know it as now, as the Vatican, and then they can rise and claim that area again, for when the king of them, their leader, who I think is referenced in many different names, even Satan, even Azazel or Semyaza could possibly be names of some of their leaders, you know, or Astaroth is a name used a lot. Who knows what the names of these creatures can possibly be? It doesn't even really matter right now for this conversation. But the most powerful of these beings are imprisoned in some sort of crystal type fortress beneath that area. It's why the Vatican chose that area. It's a power spot. And they're waiting basically once the Rome is destroyed, their queen will rise from beneath the Mediterranean Sea and meet the king on the throne of Rome, where they can procreate and build a race of their children once again. And in the meantime, there are multi-dimensional forces within our technology, within our dream time, that are sexual of nature, that are taking the DNA, taking the semen, hijacking the wombs of humanity, of the women, taking the semen of men in their dreams and in all sorts of ways through pornography. And they're creating hybrid races right here, changing our DNA right before our eyes, changing who we are through the technology, through the AI, through these creatures. We give them a body. Now, there's a name that I brought up on my Patreon today, and if you want to join my Patreon, you'll find out the information, called the Gantiqua. This is a very mysterious name that you only find in some of the ancient tablets that have been hidden from us. Now, the Book of Lamech of Cain is one of them. The Book of Enoch is another. The books of Nama. These all talk about the Gantiqua. The Gantiqua, from what I understand, might be a tribe of dark ones, a tribe of earth-born Rephaim that have died and now are a mind virus, disembodied spirit that can enter the minds of humanity, give you corruptive sexual thoughts, pollute your mind with evil thoughts, with violence, with all sorts of, just bad pollution. And they prey on the weak, they prey on the vulnerable, and depending on the will of the host, some of them welcome these beings. Some people of a dark nature welcome them on. Some of them channel them. Some of them call them on. Some of them evoke them. Now, as a teenager, I had direct contact with what you would call the Grigori through certain hand gestures I did within the mirror. I used some ancient Strega knowledge that I learned that I thought just was cool. That I learned that you can call on these fallen ones, the Grigori, and receive ancient knowledge. And, you could get a girl to like you. You could do this, you could do that. You could do anything you would want if you just did certain hand postures. right? So I learned, and that's why I come from a certain angle now, where I'm providing information so people don't make certain mistakes that I made. Bring this on, I was having problems. So it's I could have been really, I have a lot of talents in my life too. I could have gone a lot of places with a lot of different things, and it's because I fucked off as a teenager and in my early 20s that so much. I was by the time I was in my 30s that I had a lot of catching up to do. That I already had screwed up all my credit. I already had, my family and all that kind of stuff. So these creatures are all about that. And if you have TVs, computers, phones, laptops, all of this, and you don't know, some people have numerous people that use a computer at their house. If somebody's using that computer for sexual pornography or sexual deviant type stuff or dark sexual stuff, you're opening up a portal, a gateway into that house of this Rephaim, Nephilim type sexual magic, ritualistic, demonic sexual creatures that will invade your house. So you gotta anoint and cleanse those devices. So I will check with you guys in a little while. Thank you for joining, and Spiral out.